Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Good morning, party people. We are back here at this beautiful 850 T-5R yellow sedan, and we are about to continue with this conversion to manual and tune. And I just realized we have a bunch of goodies in this box we need to install. AEM, air fuel ratio, several other things, so I better get snapping and popping because I got a bunch of stuff going on here. I'm going to kick it off by putting the pedals in and a few other things in here. Then I'm going to work on these accessories. So let me get started on the important stuff. Moving right along, got the shifter installed. And next I'm going to put the center console in. Then we're going to start wiring things in here, like the boost gauges and other gauges that we got for that pod. Here's the part number for the Volvo T-5R one, 9150984. That should have the T-5R trim on it. Here we are. We got the 3M tape in place. About to press in this piece of trim and put this in the car. We got all the dust and dirt out from around the switches and stuff so that could look nice. Got this piece double-sided taped in. We're going to put this in and lock in that shifter boot. Here we are. The inside is put together. I'm going to plug a blank in there because you got to take out that winner switch. And this thing is about ready to go. Got that off. Got to get some accessories in, get that back on. But man, this is one of the best looking Alcantara armrests I've seen in a while. But it's got the shift boot. Alright. Got a cigarette lighter thing in there. Got a plug in there. 94 plug, so it sits a little lower, but I'm going to keep moving. Here we are, folks. We are down to the nitty gritty of why we're doing this manual swap. This is the shifter light by the auto shifter, and that bulb is bad. So we're just going to get rid of it with the manual swap. Number one reason. Had a big downfall. Hydroplaning at 45. That truck blew by me doing 60. A lot of people pulling over on the side of the road. And let me tell you something. These inexpensive tires I have on this car are slick. Ain't nothing like, now I'm sliding. Ain't nothing like the Michelins I normally have. I can't wait to get these tires off my car. Woo. Looks like the storm blew some trees down on the road. And people are merging over to get around those trees. Hopefully the traffic will pick up after that. Thank goodness I don't see no accidents. That's good. Man. That sucks. That's a lot of trees. We got on the road. Here we go again. Taking back up the pace. Here we are at Steve's, about to do some control arms. T5M. That interior. Let's get it going. Steve's jacking point is creaking. That tells me it's probably starting to rust out, give way. Anyway, we got this thing off the ground enough to get this wheel off. Just barely. I'm going to get the wheel off and change this control arm. See if it's a 2-bolt or a 4-bolt control arm. Probably 4 bolts because these things are, well, no, this might be 2 because it's a 98 and it's front wheel drive T5M. Let's see. Okay, note to self. Never leave home without these Volvo rivets no more. Too many of those things are jacked up and loose. This thing got busted hole there. It's rubbing here because the nut is missing there. Looks like the nut's missing. Yeah, the nut's missing there. I also need to load this control arm. It's the 3-bolt control arm. And you got to load those things. So I need to find a jack or something to load this thing, or put the jack stand under it, because other than that you'll tear up the bushings and the A-frame portion of that. And he's got some kind of leak going on down here, tearing up that mount and leaking out of that timing belt cover. So I'll pull that timing belt cover, find some more work to do. That's how that's supposed to be. All right, let me get this control arm on. I loaded this control arm by putting the jack stand under here without the jack stand piece. Loaded it, lowered it until there was no more weight on the jack. Now I can tighten those 2 bolts there. One side down, one to go. We got a lug nut broke off in the hub. I moved the wheel stops over to this side. Let's go do the other side. We are currently at a work stoppage. The jacking point over here has failed. Let me put some light on the subject. I was jacking the car up. I heard it creaking. You can see the rust that fell out. And as it was creaking, I thought I might be able to get a little bit more to slide that jack stand under. I got that jack stand under that far. Not where I wanted it. I tried to jack it up a little bit more and it caved in. So this jacking point is destroyed, which is a safety concern if you ever need to change a tire while you're on the road. So this car will need a floor jack from now on, or get this jacking point supported and welded back in. Looks like brake cables, maybe that bushing's hanging out, not in all the way. But anyway, we need to get a floor jack or something to get this job done and get this jack stand from under here. And I do not travel with a floor jack, so he's checking on one and we'll pick it up from there. I did find one of those plastic nuts to secure this, so hopefully he'll quit getting wheel rub and throwing rocks and dirt in there on his belts. Let me get up here and open up this timing belt cover and see what we got going on there. Where this oil's coming from. Look like you got some rock salt in here. I don't know what this stuff is. Some kind of plastic chewed up stuff. Or some kind of rock salt. Anyway, I'm going to pull this timing belt cover and see what we got going over there. He needs a new reservoir. And he needs a heat shield for this turbo. That could be the cause of this thing here deteriorating. And I need to check the suspension. See what's going on here. If this is causing some of his shaking and rattling when he hits a bump. I'll double check this when we get this car back on the ground properly, but by the looks of this, these struts are destroyed. Don't normally shake that easy. He also has this bushing coming out here. So I don't like them poly bushings. That thing is all eaten up and coming out the other side. I may have one of those in my car. I'll ask him if he wants me to check for it and replace it. I got my tool and everything to do that. And somebody has jammed up his throttle cable, got it under the turbo piping. They lost the rubber grommet that holds the turbo pipe to this clamp here, and the clip is missing from his throttle body. I wonder if I got one of those. I don't think so. We were looking for one of those the other day. So that's some weird stuff going on here. Let's check the timing belt, see if it's leaking oil. Opened up Pandora's box here. You can see a bunch of the timing belt cover is missing. The inner timing belt cover, just chunks of it. Somebody did a cylinder head job on this car, and they didn't seal the cam cover right. Got some secondary sealing on there, and then they did not use, from what I could tell, Volvo cam seals. And that one looks like it's definitely leaking. And can't really tell on this one if it's leaking, but it's leaking all down that back side of the belt. So this belt is over tensioned. That needs to be lightened up, because this engine is 70 degrees. It should be right smack in the middle of this tension in the window, and it's not. It doesn't even look like it's tensioned the right direction. So it's amazing that this car hadn't jumped time. Somebody tensioned it, it looks like backwards. So anyway, let me check on what I want to do here. I mean, it's been running, so I'm not inclined to mess with this timing, and maybe the fact that it's over tensioned has stopped it from jumping time. But definitely leave a cam seal back there. And you know, when you use aftermarket cam seals, they just last a couple years and then they start leaking. I do remember him telling me that he had some kind of rough go with the guy that did this cylinder head. I could see where this side of the cam seal's hanging out, the back side. The front side is in, and it's got some sealant holding it in. So let me poke around a little bit with a screwdriver. Maybe I could get that part of the cam seal in. Then I'll check my parts, see if I got any more cam seals. I used 2 of these front cam seals on Gregory's car a couple days ago, and I ordered 2 more today, but I don't have them in hand yet. That cam seal was hanging out. I pushed it in probably further than I should have. Pushed it in farther than my tool would have pushed it, but it's probably better off in further than hanging out. So we'll see what happens when he starts the car, if it starts leaking real bad. Abracadabra, and there we have it, folks, a floor jack. Let's get this ball rolling. Done with the control arm, but last but not least, this rotor is missing the holding pin, so it spins around on the hub, making it hard for you to put the tire back on. I got a screw I'm gonna put in there, hold that in place. That'll do it, and the wheel will fit over it, so it won't be hard to put the wheel on after you're replacing a tire or something. And this thing's got 302s on it, big brake kit. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.